We're back, Bareboard Broadcasting. Norman, Woodstock, Spalding, end of the day. Well, ready to shut the studio and hit the hay. Been quite a day for me. I was in court with attorneys for, several hours a day. You get an attorney's attention for a couple hours is quite a privilege, isn't it? Well, I did. Quite a privilege. Told me he didn't want to make any more money. Have you ever heard an attorney say, I don't need any more money? I heard one say it today. A court-appointed attorney told me he didn't want and need any more money. I'll think of that. I said, I'd like to pay myself. He said, I don't need any more money. Well, you thought I was in terms. I said, no, instead of the state paying you, I like to pay it because he's a court-appointed attorney for my daughter. And I don't like the idea of the state paying my attorneys. I need to pay my attorneys. I can't afford it. What I got today, there's no God's name I could afford. And to me, he didn't do enough, and I told him. I had the priceless experience with the day. I got very cordial with the attorney today that I've left recordings on his recording message machine that most attorneys would never speak to me again, ever. Some of the remarks I've made about him and his abilities in the Bar Association, I'm astounded. And this man and I have a deeper rapport now than we did before I made those remarks. So I find that astounding and breathtaking and priceless. Because in some cases, they certainly weren't complimentary at all. And he knows that I depend on him and need him, and he knows my disappointment and why I make those remarks to him. I appreciate attorneys very much and their position the more. Oh, yes, I do. Now, when they fail me, I talk up and ream their rear. Like I've been talked up and people have reamed my rear. Police officers, for example, have talked up to me and reamed my rear. Booted my rear and sent me on my way. I told me, have a nice day. Want to bet? What happens when you remember stuff like that? You're supposed to hate pigs? You're supposed to still hate their position? Have you ever had a police officer play court, judge, jury, the whole thing on the scene, and let you walk away guilty of sin? A lot of you have. I know you have. To sit around and say I got away with something would be dumb, wouldn't it? Did the cop know you were guilty of sin? Or did you pull one over on him or her? How about on your mom, your dad, or the whole idea of the system, or the idea of justice, or the idea of mutual? Are you a thief watching this and got away with stealing something today? Well, you're an idiot. You only cut your own throat because that's another day you don't know how to do it yourself. You can't do it the way you want to do it, the way everybody wants to do it, the way it works. When you're a thief, sooner or later, you overplay your hand and get caught. Where is it? Give it to me. Damn it. The people using this isn't a thief. You say, this is a thief. It really isn't. There's nothing steely about anything to do with this. You say, the love of this is the root of all evil. That's baloney. The failure of honesty of this, evil laughs at. Because it outdoes evil. The failure of honesty, what's more honest? Deviancy with humans or evil that's honest with itself to get away with it? Who's the dumbest? The one that lies to themselves so the sucker plays them? Or the thief that comes in and plays you lying to yourself? When you're lying to yourself to use this, the guy that owns this, is he a thief? Who lies more? The guy that owns this or the people using it that are not honest with themselves, each one of them, and call this prosperity, and it has nothing to do with prosperity at all. This does not understand one thing about prosperity. No, it does not. It doesn't. It couldn't bring you prosperity if you tried. No, you're buying time in hell. That's all you're doing. If you keep laughing and playing with it, you're buying time in hell. You're just giving yourself more rope to hang yourself. Every time you have a good time with this, and mock what's going on with it, and don't give that any time. Now, I suppose you give the reason this thing is failing some time, which is basically stingy in the way humans live in their lifestyle, forces this to fail. That stingy forces the lying that keeps this failing. And I'm talking about each one lying to themselves that keeps this failing. Because you're not paying the duty on it. And you're not honest about what it does at all. You think it has a grant, and it doesn't have a grant anymore. There's no more grant here. Gone. Every time you go to college and the college says, there's more grant, let's go get it. College is a liar. No more grant. College is a liar. Yeah, they are. University is a liar. Higher education is a liar. There's no more grant there. You're a liar. And you teach chasing of this grant, you're a double liar. And your sword is dull. You are not a two-edged sword. You're a double liar with a dull sword in your mind. Because your term use is so bass-backward, you don't have any conceptual ability anymore at all. You've memorized too much text. You've written too much text and memorized it. Itch, itch, itch. And yea, the backed up story. Yea, the echo of accurate information. And it's got nothing to do with the university. You're a sales pitch. That's all you are. Sales pitch. That's all you are. You don't give a damn how accurate the information of the sales pitch is, university. Hey, higher education, you don't give a damn. It's probably too long to upload. That's for sure. Come on.